Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So the weather is nice and Chris and I needed to get some gold, so we have come down to a local creek to run our gold cubes and see about finding some flood gold. Now we're just using our carts and our kids to get everything back. Once we get there, we're going to get everything set up, classify as much as we can, and then run them through the cubes and see how much flood gold there is. See you in a minute. Look guys, my gold cube is like something out of Twilight. In the sun, it gets all sparkly. All right, so here's what we've got going on. We are working this bank up here. Chris is up here. I'm right here working the material that is sloughed down while people were walking. I've got my cube set up right here in 10 gallons of material. Chris is set up right here with 10 gallons of material. So we're testing these two spots. We're gonna run it, see how much gold there is. This is a flood deposit where all the material from upriver has come and built up right here. I wish I had a piece of machinery to take all these blackberries to dig right there. Maybe I'll try there next. But let's run it and see what we can find. So since we are running 1/4-inch material today, I'm using the 2,000 gallon per hour pump. That way there's enough water flow for moving that 1/4-inch material. If I was classifying to an 1/8 inch, I'd be running my 1100. But this 2000 seems to be doing really good right now. So you might not be able to see it, but there is gold in there. Look at all those black streaks coming out of the tailings. That's a lot of black sand. So we're gonna get some more material, run it through the cube. All right, this is Chris's. Hopefully you guys can see the gold he got. He's doing pretty good so far. He was a little higher up, so I think we're gonna try right over there, just a little bit higher. So as you can see, I've sampled all through here, and now I'm sampling this upper area. And yes, I will slough this in once we leave. Chris has been working this spot, and it looks like he's actually getting less gold as he moves this way. So we're probably gonna try some other spots near here. Right now, I've just got my tub filled up, and I'm just sitting back on my bucket while I fill it, or feed it, because, well, I'm lazy today, it's Sunday. So we're gonna run this, and then we're gonna get a picture of the top tray, and then take some lunch, because it is hot as hell. We're gonna cool off in the water. The kids are out there having a blast. So thanks for joining me, guys. I'm really enjoying being out here today, and I'll see you when we're done with all this dirt. All right, so you guys can see that gold. That's from about 4 buckets worth of material, maybe 5. And I expect that I blew some of that gold out into the lower mats. So after we're done with lunch, I'm gonna clean up all the trays and we'll run some more material. Say that again.
Say what? Alright, here's a tip. When searching for flood gold, on this river I live near, there's always been a pay streak here of flood gold right on the surface. Now, if you get a good test pan, go down a little bit further and test again. Otherwise you might blast right through that pay streak. And then you're not going to get as much gold. So make sure you track your gold and where it's at.
Wise words of Chris.
Yes.
So we're gonna follow Chris's tip, and we're gonna take off this upper layer where this grass would have been grabbing onto the black sand. And we're gonna try just the first couple of inches into the bucket and then through the gold cube. Okay, so we cleared off the top 3 inches here. We got 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket. We're gonna dump it into that black tub there to get everything wet, run it through the cube and see if Chris is right. All right,
Am I a liar?
so there is some gold in there.
Not better than what you're getting.
Yep, so Chris is not a liar.
Not a liar.
But this spot does not pay up like the Umpqua or other places that we've been. But it's more gold than I had this morning. And it's definitely better than a pointy stick in your eye. So I'd have to say this has been a pretty good day. We're gonna run hopefully 2 more buckets, at least 1 more, and then start getting ready to end the day because I'm gonna be going home and frying up some catfish. So let's get a little bit more gold and then get everything cleaned up. Okay, so we ran through about 10 more gallons of material. I sampled over here a little bit more and did some from this area. And we've got some gold in the mat. If I hold this at the right angle, you guys will see that. Now, most of the gold is actually gonna be in the lower 2 trays. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up now, and we're gonna pan down and get an idea of how much gold we got. And then we're gonna start cleaning up because it is getting later in the day, and I wanna make sure that I have a nice yummy dinner for my wife when she gets home. So let's get this cleaned up and take a look at the gold. Okay, so this is one reason why I love the gold cube. It's great at retaining small gold, but out of all those buckets, look at how much we have for cons. That's like maybe a 1.5 cups of material. That's awesome. If I was running my dredge, I would have a bucket full of cons. If I ran a high banker, I'd have a lot. Gold cube, you're always gonna have this much. All right, so I'm gonna keep all this material, but we're gonna do some speed pan down into this tub so we can see what kind of gold we got. So I'll be back in just a second once I've gone through this nice and slow. So check this out. This is why it's called flood gold. This gold is so small, it is really hard to pan back. Out of all this black sand, it's really wanting to move. So as I bring this back, you can see that that gold, it wants to stay in place, but since its gravity is so close to the black sand, it wants to move with it. Plus, it being really, really small and flat, the water can move it easier. So I'm seeing a lot of gold in here though, which is a good sign. It's just really, really fine. So I'm gonna pan this back so we can see some of the gold, but we're gonna need to finish this up at home, or we might even let it collect, do a few more trips to this spot, and then see how much we've got at the end. So that's some of the gold right there. I'm not really going to pan it back anymore because it's so hard. There's still so much gold down in here that slipped right past and I watched it go. So we're going to have to find a good way of separating this. We're going to get it completely dry, separate out the magnetics, and then go from there once we get home. But that probably won't be in this video. And of course the camera messed up there at the end and I didn't get my outro that I filmed, but that's okay. We made it home. I got everything unpacked. We're going to run those cons a different day because I want to try a different magnet device for separating them, and maybe we'll make a video about that. I had an absolute blast today with my buddy Chris. You guys got to hear a special tip from him, and hopefully you guys will be hearing more from him. And leave a comment down below if you think Chris should start his own channel. But thank you for joining us today. We had an absolute blast. The kids got to swim, and we got some gold. So until next time, guys, give the video a like, subscribe down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.